Shalom, all praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, double honors goes into the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much love and peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect that are preaching the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. So basically, it's going to be a lesson regarding the updates in Afghanistan, which we've been hearing about in mainstream media a lot. And as you may know, there's been a 20-year ongoing war with Afghanistan, and just recently America has pulled out of that country. One of the main reasons being so they can push their propaganda here in the United States, because Esau, whatever he puts as a narrative on mainstream media, there's always a certain agenda behind it. But also being the fact that America is failing. America went in that country with the intention of winning a war, but it had to pull out. Why? Because this is a failing society, it's a failing country, a failing military, demoralized, and it's on its way out. And also these are signs of America's demise, because for the past millennia, these devils have gotten to basically manipulate and destroy and misuse the Most High's people by putting us in slavery and etc. And we're living in the days where the Most High is judging these devils, right? Because just a couple weeks ago, Joe Biden was trying to hush the crowds, hush the reporters during his press conference, ensuring them that he's confident in the forces of the Afghani military, right? That they will uphold the democracy in which America instilled, right? But then just in a couple of days after withdrawing, the Taliban completely have overrun that country. And justifiably so. You know why? Because America is an oppressor of the nations. America, because who are the masters of America, if you will, the leaders, the upper echelons, the ones who control the society? The Edomites. The Edomites have gotten free reign to control different portions of this world, because the scriptures tell you that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So things like this happen, it shows you that America is on its way out. You know what I'm saying? The fact that these smaller nations are coming back to bite America in the ass and doing things like this proves that their system, their persistent reliance on the sword and lies, is actually now in this day and age going against their favor. So I'm going to play a few videos and get into the scriptures, because basically when I'm outlining the scriptures, how that the very facts which I've stated, and how America pushes their philosophies on other countries unjustly, and this lines up biblically. It shows you exactly who America is in the scriptures. It's Babylon, right? And they promote all wickedness according to the Bible. They actually don't help these nations; they destroy these nations. Let's play this one.
They're just chanting death.
Lock. Play this one.
America, but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly bizarre.
At the president.
They're just chanting death to America, but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly bizarre.
At the president.
Yeah, because you know why? Because those people, as the scriptures say, have taken a parable against their oppressors. So let's look at the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and 6, it says, shall not these take up a parable against him? These which are taking up the parable represents the nations. And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. Death to America, death. That's what they're saying. Death to America, death to America. It says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So let's look at that word for a taunting. The word for taunting. Hold on. They're taunting America with these words, man. You know what I mean? The word for taunting is malayataza, and it means a satire, mocking poem, mocking song, taunting. Hey, so that's what these nations have been reduced to. A taunting proverb, the parable.
Is mashal a proverb, proverbial saying, a byword? So isn't death to America a proverbial saying amongst these people? Yes, it is. So, hey, that's biblical prophecy fulfilled right in that. So you got this footage of these people. Hey, because these people trying to hop on these planes are actually the betrayers of their own brethren. They're trying to hop on planes to get into America because they've been down with the American agenda this whole time. They know the Taliban is not fucking around. Chaos. Hey, but you see, this is what, trusting in the beast has gotten. That's why the scriptures say the nations are angry. You know what I mean? Hold on. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon, which is America, hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hands. And why a golden cup? Because America has been used to be poured out philosophies on the nations. America is likened unto gold because if something is in a golden cup, it's much more appealing to drink than it being in a cup made of clay. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the nations have been enticed with that, the appearance of America, the witchcraft, to want to believe in feminism, LGBTQ rights, the credit system, digital money. You see what I'm saying? It says that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's why you see nothing but madness going on in that country. The word for mad here is halal. It says to be clear, to make a show of boast, and to shine, hence to make a show, to boast, and thus to be clamorously foolish, to rave. Do you see? So, hey, basically, there's a lot of different definitions for this because it can be used in many different ways. But if you go down the outline of biblical usage, it says to be made a fool of, to make into a fool. And that's exactly what these nations have become, trusting in the American way. Because the scriptures even tell you how Esau, he's the basis of men. Meaning you wouldn't be too smart. You would be a fool to actually follow after his wicked ass, man. You know what I mean? So let's go to the next one. This even proves also how America has been that golden cup. Because you had this woman interviewing Taliban fighters, and what's the only thing on her mind is fucking feminism. I wonder where she got that from.
Taliban president. Would that still include women's rights and a democracy? So would you believe in the democratic vote, though? So would people be allowed to vote in women politicians?
Hey, you see, he laughed in her face, man. Because here it is, this woman has the audacity, the nerve to ask if women should be able to vote. Hey, that's not a woman's role. The scriptures prescribe exactly what a woman is supposed to be worried about. Okay? Let's look that up in the scriptures, man. Because you see, the nations, the reason why they're being made fools is because they're leaving off from their way. The ancient way across the board for all nations was women to be in order and takers of the house. In different cultures, different societies like Babylon, ancient Babylon, Egypt, they went outside of that structure. And what happened to their empires as of now? Like Rome, they're done. Even Greece, in its initial stages, had a patriarchy. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it says about the woman. This is Titus 2 and 3. It says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness and not false accusers, not given so much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. So it doesn't say for them to be fucking voted in politics and all this other dumb shit that a woman should not even be concerned and worried about. These are the very strict guidelines and boundaries of what a woman is supposed to do. And there's nothing wrong with it, because this is how, families, nations, tribes, countries, anything you put your hand towards in this world that's how it prospers. The men and women must play their role. The children must be raised to be in their role. And without that, it's none but confusion and death. Okay? So he laughed in that bitch's face, man. Sirach chapter 25 and verse 25 says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Right? So these women are supposed to have no damn liberty. You give them liberty and they destroy themselves. The scriptures even tell you in that same chapter how they abuse themselves with overmuch liberty. And this is an article that I was reading which shows you that, that whole Afghani war was nothing more than just demoralizing their nation with American philosophies, which even the top people, the bankers, they know that what they push to these nations ain't to their benefit. Feminism, the homosexual, they know that that's not to their benefit. They know that because let's see, when was the last time you seen a homosexual head of the Rothschilds family? It has never happened because they know they would kill their young men for doing that shit. Or them appoint a woman in some type of, they laugh, but yet they push this to other nations. You see what I'm saying? So they're hypocrites and they know what time it is. But they just do this in order so they can go in there and extract resources. They make business deals with the politicians and the heads of industry in those countries, and then they, benefit from those countries' resources. Yeah, certain people, the upper echelons in those countries, the rich folks and the such and such, yeah, they still are making their money, but then the people are stripped of everything. The people are living in poverty. So this is something about the war in Afghanistan and the opioids. It says geopolitics, profit, and poppies, how the CIA turned Afghanistan into a failed narco state. It said the war in Afghanistan has looked a lot like the war on drugs in Latin America in previous colonial campaigns in Asia, with the rapid militarization of the area and empowerment of pliant local elites. You see, just like what I said. They only look to benefit the elites. They steal from their poor of their people. It says the COVID-19, the COVID-19 scamdemic has been a death knell to so many industries in Afghanistan. Charities and aid agencies have even warned that the economic dislocation could spark widespread famine, but one sector is still booming, the illicit opium trade. And then a part of the narrative of going into Afghanistan was to stop the opiate trade. But it's booming. It says last year, Afghan opium poppy cultivation grew by over a third while the counter-narcotics operations dropped off a cliff. The country is said to be the source of over 90% of all the world's illicit opium, from which heroin and other opioids are made. So if you skip down, it says this is a far cry from the 1970s when poppy production was minimal and largely for domestic consumption. But this changed in 1979 when the CIA launched Operation Cyclone, the widespread funding of Afghan Mujahideen militias in an attempt to bleed dry the then Soviet invasion. Over the next decade, the CIA worked closely with its Pakistani counterpart, the ISI, to funnel $2 billion worth of arms and assistance to these groups, including the now famous Osama bin Laden and other warlords known for such atrocities as throwing acid in the faces of unveiled women. So you go down, let's see. Hey, so really that exposes it all, man. America is about that witchcraft, and it even tells you in Revelation 18 what this place is about. So let's go to Revelation 18. Fuck, am I losing signal? Revelation 18 and 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. This is talking about post the destruction of America. Why America is going to be judged for all its wickedness. Primarily the wickedness which I spoke of in the beginning of this video. The oppression of the Israelites. The oppression of the Israelites, man. And all the wickedness that America has worked its way into throughout history, the Most High is judging it. It says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So if you look up that word for sorcery, in the Greek, it should be pharmakeia. Yes, it's pharmakeia or pharmakeia. Pharmakeia. And it says, the use or administering of drugs, sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. You see? It's witchcraft. This whole taking fucking opiates and all that, it's witchcraft. Why do you think there's an opiate epidemic in America for the past 4 or 5 years? Because they're getting this shit from other nations, man. One of them being Afghanistan. And these pharmaceutical companies, which are witchcraft companies, profit off of this. They make money off the average American working a 9 to 5 who's depressed or feeling back pain, whatever pain, taking their drugs, getting addicted to it, getting spirits on them, and dying. All the meanwhile paying all this money for these fucking opiates, man. And whatever type of drug people in this country rely upon. Because in the 80s, 90s, it was our people strung out on the crack, which is just a different form of witchcraft, man. Hey, so this place is going to be destroyed, man. All praises go to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.